What's up guys, David Moss Jr. here, and in today's video, I've got something pretty unique. This is the brand new FireTub. This is a minimalist hot tub made for the outdoors. The cool thing is you only need the setup, water, and we're gonna build a fire right here in these coils. And using science, this is gonna make a continuous circulating hot tub with no electricity required. I'm pretty excited because this is really new, something I've never reviewed before, so let's get right into it. And hey, after today's video, if you need a little more information, I'll have a link down in the description below to FireTubs USA where you can get all the extra details. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is the specs. As you see it right here, it's currently listed at $2,099, but I do have a discount code you can use. It supports the channel, saves you a little money. It's MAUS, M-A-U-S. You can use that if you want to, and it saves you a little bit of money. But that's a pretty good deal, and it comes just like this. This is called the Big Banter. This has room for 2 people. We're gonna give you all the measurements in there, but it's nice because it's easy for you to maneuver by yourself, but you also have room for 2 if you want to. So let's go ahead and measure it. So the first measurements we're gonna do is gonna be the width. We're looking at 25 inches, so 2 feet, 1 inch wide. It does have an insulated lid, which is cool too. The depth, we're looking at just at 23 inches in depth. And let's pop this lid off real quick and look at the overall length of this tub, 5 feet. So 5 feet by basically 2 feet and 2 foot. We're gonna have a lot of room in here where we can get in. Actually, before I fill it up with water, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump in here and see. So this is pretty much how I'd be sitting and relaxing right in here with nice hot water. It's gonna be interesting because I've never reviewed or used anything like this before. I don't even know how this works. I'm not much of a scientist, so this is kind of like a science experiment. Let's learn. So that's the measurements of the tub, but you are gonna need a little bit more space because as you can see here, you have some heat resistant tubing that comes out here to the actual coils. The coils, this is gonna have a live fire. So we're gonna build a fire in here. The coils on the inside, you've got just over 17 inches. It is a circle, and off the ground, we're looking at just about a foot, just about 12, 13 inches off the ground. So I'm gonna set up some logs in there, put some fire starter. It does have a natural wind block as well. Because I put it on rocks, there will be enough oxygen pulling from the bottom to keep this fire nice and lively, which is really cool. But from the coils, how I have it set up to the tub, you're gonna need about 66 inches. So I would just call it about 6 feet from the tub, which kind of like my plan is tonight, the kids should get home from school. They don't have cheer or practice tonight. So we're gonna set up a couple of chairs, get a fire going here, maybe roast some marshmallows, let them do some s'mores, jump in the hot tub. You know they're gonna like that, which is really cool. But before we do that, let's go ahead and actually get this thing started. I wanna also do an overview of the tub. So it does have a nice insulated lid. Now, this isn't something you're gonna wanna keep the same water in for a long period of time. Like if you're gonna use it for a couple days, bring it on vacation with you, have it set up by the lake, I think you could probably get like 3-4 days out of the same water, but there's no chemicals, there's no filtration system. You're just using science to circulate that water and heat it up. So it is recommended to drain the water out regularly. So you will need access to a hose or some pretty large buckets if you're pulling water in from a lake or something. But if you are gonna use it for a couple days in a row, you do have this insulated lid that has skirting. This is a really nice lid for this setup. Like a nicer lid than I've seen on some of the more expensive cold plunges. We're gonna set this off to the side here for a sec, talk about the tub. So it is a galvanized tub. This should do a good job of helping to retain the heat, which is really nice. One thing to note is these can get a little hot if you have them basking in the sun. So just keep that in mind. When you do put water on it though, it will cool it down really, really fast if the water is cooler. So if you do have access to a hose and you're about to jump in it and you haven't had the lid on, just be mindful, the metal can get a little bit hot. Over on this side is where the heat's gonna come from. We're gonna start our fire in those coils. The fire is going to create a thermal siphon. So you notice there's 2 different lines. You have the inlet down here at the bottom and the outlet here at the top. Heat rises. So the cooler water inside this plunge or this tub is gonna actually sink to the bottom. The coils are going to pull it, creating that thermal cycle, pulling the cold water into the coils, and it's gonna actually move the water up the coils because of that heat. Then the water's gonna heat up obviously because of fire, and then it's going to come out of the top here and it's gonna create a circulation of hot water, making a hot tub, which is really cool. A natural scientific hot tub, no electricity required. When it comes time to actually drain it, there is a plug over here on the bottom side. You'll need a pair of pliers, just kind of grab that, or a couple sticks that are pretty strong, something like that, and you just open this up, it drains all out from the bottom, and then you start the process all over again. Online it says, with my ambient temperature, my setup, and the amount of logs I'm gonna put in, it says it should get pretty hot within about 30 minutes. So we'll test that out today as well and see about how many logs we need to get this thing nice and hot. And you can control the temperature by, I guess, depending on how many logs you put in. It's kind of like a stove, you know, like a wood burning sauna. Like depending on how many logs you put in the stove is how hot it's gonna get. So depending on how hot we get this fire and how long we run it is how hot this water is gonna get. So I'm excited to see how this actually works. Let's go ahead and fill it up with water. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some water in this tub. I always recommend using a hose filter if you are using a hose, just because it's better. I live in Florida, I'm on a well, so my water's really yellowy and, you know, kind of can have that smell. So using a hose filter is always something really nice. But the cool thing about this, there's no filtration or anything like that. So you can use water from a spring or a stream or a river, lake, ocean, whatever you have access to. But we're gonna fill this thing up. We wanna get the water above that bottom hole before I start this fire. Actually, I don't think it's gonna matter. There's no pumps I gotta worry about burning out. So let's just go ahead and start this fire. So what I've got is some old chopped wood from Publix. I've got some tumbleweed fire starter, and I've got the good old-fashioned lighter. So I'm gonna go make a little teepee out of this wood. I hope this wood is dry enough to burn. It kind of feels a little damp. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now we have our fire heating up and our tub filling up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the entire setup process. So let's go ahead and get right to that. This is how it all came. Got some bubble wrap around it. Save this for the kids. I love popping. Don't lose this. This was taped to the bubble wrap. I'm gonna just try to use this thing. Let's go. Where should we set this up? Down by the lake, you think? Oh no. Cool thing about it being durable, right? Inside the tub, these are, I'm assuming, 2 of the tube pieces that we will connect. A big wooden paddle.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's for stirring the hot and cold water, mixing it up. The science project we get to play with, also known as the Coils. So we'll open this up, set it up, start a fire, and have a hot tub. For the setup, we're gonna have, well, obviously the coils. We're gonna have 2 different types of tip. This one here, which I'm assuming is going to go onto this, but I am just assuming that. And then this tip here, which I'm assuming is going to go into the actual plastic. So let's make sure I'm right. And then we have some clamps to keep it all together. Pretty easy, pretty simple setup. All right, let's go to setup guide. I'll have links to all this in the description too if you want to see more information. And then, yep. And then the last step before we do some measurements and specs is going to be to install this. I'm gonna call it a diffuser. So this will go in at the top hole where the water is gonna come back in, and we'll screw this in and have it angled down. So the water, when it comes back in, will actually kind of float throughout it, helping with the circulation. And that's what this wooden spoon is for, is to just stir it. You're kind of making a little bit of a soup a little bit. Hot water. And now we're 100% set up. This thing is ready to go. The next step is going to be make a fire inside these coils, which I was just talking to my wife. When the kids get home from school today, we're gonna get some s'mores and set this up, hopefully. Have a little fire going there, roast some marshmallows, jump in the hot tub, make a fun little surprise for them. So this is crazy. The water just filled up past that top eyelet or inlet, outlet, whatever you wanna call it. Fire's going really strong. And I came over here to look real quick. I had to run and grab my camera. You could see like steam's coming off the water. I don't know if you can see it well in the camera, but the water coming out here, can you tell? It's got like, you can see, oh my gosh, it's already so hot. Like to feel how hot it is right here. And then obviously the lower I get, the colder it is. That's freaking wild, and you can see it. Like, you can actually see it in the water. That's nuts. Calls for a thermometer. So now we've got it full and it's ready to go. I'm gonna put the lid on and let it just heat up. Let the fire just keep doing its thing. And then we're actually gonna try this bad boy out.
A few moments later.
All right, it has been 15 minutes. Let's go see what the temperature in this thing is. Fire is still roaring, looking good. The ducks are checking out what's going on. Let's pop the top on this thing. Ooh, you can feel heat coming up. Oh dear, oh shoot. That's freaking hot. It feels hot, but let's stir it up. Stir this bad boy up, like making a soup. Because the hot water is at the top. You can see the hot water. You can see it's like boiling water. So the top was definitely hot. I think I just mixed it all up. It says we're just under 100. And just under 100, you can see that hot water coming out of the tip there. Dude, the water coming out of that is hot. Oh. Also, to everybody watching, major announcement. This is my wife, Stacy. Turn around. She's beautiful, she's awesome, and she's joining me on this content creation journey. So make sure you follow her and subscribe to her channel, especially if you're a woman and you want to see women's perspectives on health and wellness stuff. She's also my videographer, full-time. Congrats. She's been hired.
I'm employed.
You're employed. She was unemployed for a few days, but now she's employed again. All right, let's check this thing out. It's been about 40 minutes since we got the fire started and the tub full of ambient water, which we're on Florida well water. Our water comes out at about 75 degrees, I would say. And now we're gonna test that temperature out and actually give it a good old try while Goldie eats the duck. All right, let's do the actual demonstration. So taking the lid off, I will tell you this, the few times that I've tested it, the water at the top is obviously really, really hot. Down below, it's also hot. So this feels good. This feels like a hot tub. Let's see what the temperature is. Dude, we're looking at 105 degrees. That's hotter than any hot tub that you're gonna get into at a resort or something. I think they have to max out at 104. And the thing is, like, the longer I have this running, you can see the hot water coming out. It's still coming out so hot. So took about 40 minutes to get it to 104, 105. That's hot tub temperature. I'm okay with that. Now let's actually test it out. So once again, having the lid on actually is a smart move too, because it keeps the sun from hitting the galvanized metal and making that really, really hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get in this thing. Oh. Dude, we ran 6 miles this morning. This feels so nice. Oh, shoot. Oh, instant relaxation. Why is this more relaxing than like a hot tub? Like the big ones, the big expensive ones that need like filters and pumps and chemicals. This just feels so nice. I don't even want to talk. I'm just gonna enjoy it. You do the review, babe. Water at the top is getting hot. Like really hot, which I kind of like. It's crazy how it just sucks the water in down there. All right, so first impressions, insanely relaxing. I mean, like when you get into a nice hot tub of water, it's gonna feel relaxing, it's gonna feel great. But I'm honestly like very surprised at how fast this heated up to the temperature that it's at. And the water coming out is still really, really hot. So I would say just like be careful. On their website, there's some frequently asked questions. One of them is like, can kids use this? Obviously, yes, it's to the parents' discretion. So make sure your kids are smart around an open flame and metal and hot things. Don't want anybody to get burned. But the water coming out is pretty hot to touch. Like definitely don't let them put their hands right there at the water coming out. I think that's also why it has this little diffuser pushing the water down, diffusing it down there in the colder water to help heat that up a lot faster. So it heated up to 105 degrees within 40 minutes being outside, having this fire started, which I think is pretty quick. I'm curious how long this will keep the water hot. Obviously, as the fire stays running, the water is gonna continue circulating and flowing and heating up. So I do think there's enough room in here for our kids to get in together. I know they're gonna wanna do that anyway. For me, I'm 6'1", 210 pounds, kind of wide. I can lay out with my legs completely straight and really get in a comfortable position in this thing. But like, if you wanted to get in here, I'm talking to my wife, not the viewer. But if my wife wanted to get in here, we could easily sit in here together, have a nice little lakeside hot tub experience, which I think is really cool. I will say this, I wasn't like super stoked to review this because I'm like, what is it? Like, I've never seen anything like it, but I can absolutely see a use case for this. I can see somebody having this with this type of setup. They've got a hose, they don't want to invest in electrical, like running electricity down here to the lake to have this same background, the same setup, to put an electrical hot tub or anything like that. It costs a lot of money. The fact that I was able to unbox this thing, bring it down here, set it up, get it hot all in an hour's time, and I can easily move it later if I want to different spots, it's really cool. And for the investment, I would say if you're somebody who's looking for this look, this style, a minimalist hot tub, you wanna be able to set it up somewhere on your property, bring it out to the woods, have it somewhere really cool where you don't have electricity, I would say this is something I would definitely consider. And if you need more information, things that I didn't go over in this video or you need a little bit more detail on, I will have a link down in the description below. It takes you to their website. You can get all the information that you need there. There will be a discount code as well that you can use. Will save you a little bit of money if you want to get one for yourself. Saves you some money, supports the channel. It's a win-win-win for everybody. So I appreciate you when they do that because I'm able to continue making content like this and showing you guys all these crazy new products that are just freaking cool. This thing, if I was advertising this, I would advertise it as a competitor to the Solo Stove, but you get a hot tub as well. Like, this is actually really, really cool. Don't know if I can say that. Sorry if I get in trouble, but that's the cool thing about being a third-party reviewer is you can kind of say whatever you want. Hey guys, I appreciate you so much for watching. If you have any questions that I didn't go over in this video with the details that you need, feel free to pop them down in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram at DMossJr. You can DM me there, ask comments there. I love engaging with people and helping them make the best decisions for themselves. So feel free to do that. Make sure you like this video, share it with a friend. Comment if you like this video at all, even if it's just a friendly like thumbs up emoji. YouTube rewards the algorithm now based off of comments and engagement. So if you like my channel at all and you want more people to be able to see this, that's always helpful. But more importantly, I appreciate you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, my friends, and God bless. Oh, it's so nice.